With nothing else to do, Charlotte conducted a diligent search of the shelves she couldn't see, feeling around inside boxes as she moved up and down the rows. Nothing else seemed to be in any of them, but she kept up the search in hopes of finding something, anything interesting. And she was rewarded for her persistence. Stacked on the last set of shelves, the ones right up against the far wall, were 15 boxes full of books. It was strange for Sister Grace to allow books to be stored where they might mould, which meant they probably weren't worth preserving. But the only way to be sure, short of using one of the emergency candles, was to carry a few at a time to the window. So that's what Charlotte did. Unfortunately, all the books in the first 5 boxes were Bibles. They were in good condition, but there were plenty upstairs, of course, and she'd read it cover to cover more than once. Refusing to give up, Charlotte resumed her search, moving methodically from box to window, window to box. And again, her persistence paid off. The last 5 boxes were full of well-preserved books on mathematics and English grammar. There was a dictionary in there too, along with a fascinating book full of stories from ancient Greece and Rome, wherein she found the very tales Sister Grace told about the consequences of egotism. Charlotte immediately began signalling this newfound knowledge in front of different nuns 2 or 3 times a day. She didn't always get sent down for it, but, happily, as usual, she still occasionally got banished when simply going about her business. Either way, it was wonderful, and over the following months, she spent at least 2 hours a day in the basement, standing at the window ledge when it was light out, studying the books, taking up the more complex ones as she was able. Her rapidly increasing knowledge and expanding vocabulary amazed the sisters, who praised Jesus for her gifts and gave her additional teaching responsibilities, which she welcomed because the more good deeds she did, the more likely God's grace would one day shine upon her and she would be adopted. Regardless, she knew a family and a grand house filled with children who loved her very much were in her future. It was a brilliant year, but by the end of it, there were no more books to read. Bereft, Charlotte ransacked the boxes again, searching for something she'd missed, knowing all along it was no use. Feeling like she'd lost her only friends, she gave up. But before she turned to slouch back to her mouldy mattress, she noticed the dark shape of a book on the floor, a book bigger than any she'd read. At the window, she discovered it was a thick, leather-bound volume, adorned with a profusion of embossed flowers rendered in intricate detail, front and back, and its pages were blank. A journal,